Hi guys, my name is Orkan. I'm the founder of Collectum. Welcome to our second part regarding market research and the third part in the series of creating business ideas. Today we will dive deep into macroeconomical forces and also dive deep into suppliers and other value chain actors. Please make sure that you watched the previous videos. The first video regarding self-assessment you will find right here. So let's jump right in. Firstly, we will dive into the macroeconomic forces. It is important that you analyze the economical background of your selected business region. If you decide to start a business in Dubai, then you need to make sure that the environment is developing into the right direction. We do think that Dubai's startup culture and starting a business culture is currently growing, and we do think that it will be in 10 years also the case. So therefore, considering Dubai as a new location to start your business could be the right way. On the other hand, look at the global market structure. How is your market structured globally? This will help you to identify differences between regions, example given between US and Europe, between Dubai, UAE, and between Asia. This will help you to grow your business when you are at a later stage. The reason why we do it right now is that you get a basic understanding. There is much more to that if you want to strategically grow, but this one shows you on first sight how to grow your business internationally and even if there are any possibilities to do that. So try to answer this question. For our last point, we have the industry forces. The industry forces are divided into suppliers and other value chain actors, stakeholders, competitors, newcomers, and substitutes. Let us start with suppliers and other value chain actors. So, who are the suppliers in your identified business fields? Try to research them. What is their unique selling proposition? And why did you find these kind of suppliers? So what I want to say with that, if you find some startups, it is interesting. Why did you find the startups then in your research? Is it because there is a market demand and the startups have a better ranking on Google SEO? Or what is the deal? Try to look behind the scenes. You can also think about calling one of those companies, just to get in touch with some of those companies' employees. Ask them their pricing structure. You can maybe tell them that you are a customer. Identifying suppliers is quite important because you need to understand how you get an alignment with them. You need to set up strategical partnerships early on. One of the most important key facts about a company is how long are they around. This is directly mapped to their level of expertise. If a company is there 10 plus years, then you can be sure that they had rough times, good times, but they were able to navigate through them. And those kind of companies are strategical partners, which you might consider. Next one is stakeholder. A stakeholder is someone or an institute which has directly impact on your product. Example given: governments, investors, employees, customers. They are all stakeholders to your product with different kinds of impacts. Whilst the government can have impacts on your product by law enforcement, on the other hand, customers are stakeholders as well, because they need to appreciate your product, they need to like it, they need to buy it, but they have a different kind of impact. Whilst on the one hand, maybe through government and through law enforcement, you will not be able to publish your product. On the other hand, even if you did manufacture the product, because there was no law which did forbid that you can produce your product, that customers don't want to buy it. So be sure that you manage stakeholders properly. But before trying to manage them, try to identify them at first. The next one is quite challenging. It is competitor analysis. You need to have a list of who are your competitors, what kind of products do they sell, which pricing structure do your competitors target. Example given, do they have a fixed price? Do they have a price by effort? Are they like an abo model which is constantly renewing every month? So therefore, make sure to analyze the products, the pricing structure, and try to understand how the product is creating value in the current market. After you did that, it is important that you think about if your competitors are using the technological trends which you identified in the first part of this video series, because it is important that you identify those gaps. And right now you are in the position that you can evaluate the kind of product of your competitors and then to compare it to your product, which is using the technological trends you identified. If there is a gap, then there is a high likelihood that you have a disruptional business model. Next to competitors are the so-called newcomers. Newcomers are young companies like startups who are disrupting the scene. Example given, if you owned a pension or like a hotel in 2005, you wouldn't think that Airbnb would be a big deal. But as soon as Airbnb entered the market, it flipped the whole market upside down. So this means have an eye on new entrants and startups all the time. If you are not able to beat them, you have two options. Join them or go into a strategic alliance. This will help you out always. Ask yourself about these startups, what is their growth rate year per year? What kind of products do they sell? And how are they creating value? And why are those startups succeeding in the specific niche you identified? Last on this section, we have the so-called substitutes. Substitutes are, for example, if you have a vacuum cleaner bag product and you want to produce a new kind of bag for vacuum cleaners, which have the newest kind of technology and they are much better than the current solutions on the market. But in your analysis, you just focused on new entrants and startups and your competitors, but you did not think about substitutes, which is quite dangerous. In your use case right now, there are vacuum cleaners which do not even need a bag. So you need to consider this case also. Try to think, if I'm not providing this kind of product, with which product will my customer most likely fill his market need? Be aware of your surroundings in business always. So you have three types of competitors you need to focus on. One, the classical competitor, which is doing the classical product. Two, the startup, which have new kind of technologies and want to disrupt the market. And three, the substitutes, which are not the same product, but which serve the same value as you and which fill the same market need. Be aware of these three always. These questions will help to get further in your road, because right now you are still at the beginning. Even if you invested 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you are still at the beginning. I've built a company for more than 2 years and I'm still at the beginning due to the scale of that company. In our next video part, we will talk about creating a business model, and the stuff you analyze right now will be the base of your business model, will be the base of creating unique selling propositions. Be sure, if this business idea fails down the line due to this methodology, because we dive deep in detail, you need to make sure that you start all over with a new idea to this path, because there will be some cases where you can identify gaps. And after you identified these gaps, it is then a different ball game to develop this. But therefore, firstly, you need to analyze it properly. Don't start blindly. In that sense, thank you very much guys to join this video part about market research. It is quite painful, but you will see the results soon. I promise. Just do it over and over again. You will find some ideas. This said, we see you guys next week, Saturday. Then we will drop another part regarding creating a business model. Bye.